Hi, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. I'm still trying to figure out like an opening. Still not there. Today we're going to talk about Love is Blind. I started watching it and I'm discouraged. This season started really, really great. I loved from the beautiful host and his wife, to the energy, to the Asian representation. I love that. I think it's the first Love is Blind and I watched all of them. Germany, Sweden, Brazil, of course the US and the UK. So there's a lot of representation. So who would have thought it would come from a colonial country, right? So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna try and make this routine to style myself. I finally did my hair. I didn't like do my edges, but I did my hair. So great. I like some of my little edges. After giving birth, I lost a lot, so I didn't gel it down. But I'm just happy, like I finally done my hair and my growth has been interlocked. So I'm gonna start with earrings. I'm gonna remove my existing. So again, I will link my shop. I'm trying to figure out if I can link so it takes you directly to my Instagram, but unfortunately, it's not showing me the option. Okay, so let's get into these couples that more so I'm kind of disappointed. So I'm just gonna give an overall. I've watched till episode end of episode 7, and it really went downhill. It's not really good, but it really went downhill from the first few episodes. So first, I'll start with the least problematic couple. Well, least problematic is saying a lot. So if I have this Dangling, who's messaging me? Gosh, just mute. I have this dangling. It's really cute. It kind of looks like a Olympic sign. I also have in a single, then I have in double. Nice look. I usually don't do loops like this. I usually stick with pins because of my head shape. I think hoops look better when you have more of like a square chin. But it also depends on your hairstyle and how you style it with. So I am feeling a little bit daring with my cheetah print. So I think this will look good. Plus, I'm not wearing like any jewelry. I'm just going to keep, okay, my bracelet I always wear and my watch. That helps me keep track of my steps. I always aim to do at least 8,000 steps a day. My goal. So when I'm like feeling lazy and I see I haven't made the goal, I'm like, let me get up. And then I have this um, armlet. Walk with me. Armlet. So again, like I said, it's brass. So you don't have to worry about it fading or affecting you. It's really hypoallergenic, and I'm sensitive. Like I can't wear like fake jewelry because I'll react. So, and again, flexible. So you have a bigger arm like me, then it works. I'm just gonna put one here so you can change. I'm gonna just press it. I think I overexpanded it. So you can put it facing there. Just a little bit. I want to be tighter. So yeah, you can put it lower. I like this. Kind of looks awkward on the camera, but it's comfortable. I used to love these things, but one thing is either it falls down, like it rolls down the sleeve, or it's uncomfortable. But this is pretty comfortable. Once I'm working on my hands and I have like definition, then I'll make it tighter. But it looks really cute. So you can either put it facing the front so people can see, or you can put it facing. Actually, it's cute otherwise. So when I design this like an S, and it's kind of good. It's clean. It looks nice. You can wear it during summer on vacation. Beautiful. And it doesn't press and doesn't hurt, and it's good for all sizes. So this and this, and then I want to throw in rings. I love rings. So let's see what we're gonna come here. So not all my stock is available online. I have to actually get into posting online. I have not been giving love, so I'm gonna throw in a couple of rings. I really love this design. It is so cute. Again, because it's a bendable metal, you can do any design. This is really cute. I'm gonna throw in another ring. Again, they're all expandable. If you want to put it on your bigger finger. If you want to move it to even your pinky, great, great. Then I'm gonna throw in actually no, I'm gonna do one that has, so there are these, so basically I have jewelry that's made, this is recycled glass. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm just gonna choose this color because it matches. I have them in many colors. Again, the back, which won't be shown, so you can expand and put it on any ring. Because the thing with rings, I love rings and I have 5 fingers. Is a lot of times you buy a ring, it'll be for a specific finger, but sometimes you want to switch it up. You want to mix up your rings. So adjust it and fit so that this hand doesn't get some love. So yeah, this is gonna be my jewelry. And then just to look cute, apply my lip gloss. So this lip gloss is Artistry. So you know Artistry is one of those companies, I think you can only get it from specific places. Mm, there used to be this somewhat pyramid, I think it's a pyramid business. I forgot his name, it starts with A. So I had a friend who joined, the hustle back to school. When you're in school, so in college, just make money. So she joined. So I decided to support her. And he used to have a light. I've had it for a long time. I've had this for a long, long time. I decided to support her, and I bought a couple from her. So I'm so sad that it's almost done. And then I'm gonna just let my hair go down. I should actually kept it up because with the earrings it looks better up, but I just got my hair did, so it's gonna show. I'm so happy. Yeah. Because before I'll be struggling trying to gel. I don't know how to gel my hair. I like to always put it on the side because I have my piercing here. So done. So that is my style. So yes, now let's get into this. So the first couple we're going to talk about is oof, oh, my hair is like it's cornered to the front. So the first couple we're going to talk about is Chloe and Alexandre. So Chloe and Alexandre, actually, like my hair better up with the earring for one to be seen. So Chloe and Alexandre, not much, not a lot from them. And what I gathered is, yeah, guys, this is how I do my messy bun. Is they're pretty unproblematic, but of course, I don't know if it's for sure, but now I'm thinking that that Chloe better run is Alexandre is very hesitant. Um, I think there was even a conversation he had with one of his friends or probably a family member, just explaining to them that it's too much. She's so into it, and I'm still hesitant. Even in the honeymoon, there was a part that you could see he was so disconnected. And again, I had high hopes. In the reveal when I was reviewing, I had high hopes for them. I thought they were a pretty standard couple. They looked good. They both liked each other. But I don't know if it's after getting the cookie or he forgot what he signed up for, because I'm like, hello, this is Love is Blind. I'm gonna just let a few fall down in my messy bun. Um, you're here for marriage. Like, what were you thinking? And I think, like I said, everyone is traumatized in this show, but I think he was cheated on, and I also believe it's either her or Julie, but I think she was also mistreated and assaulted during her relations, a long-term relationship. But anyway, she's positive. She keeps pushing. She's a better woman than me. If it was me, I'd have been like, okay, bye. But he's not really showing like um his hesitance is more like, this is going so fast, my past, blah blah blah, and she's trying to be supportive. I seem to really, really like him. She's such a beautiful girl. I kind of wish she knew her worth, and I wish she didn't like beg. I don't like when girls beg or when beg for man. Don't. I'm one of those who highly believe that if you have to chase a man, he's not meant. Even if you get him in the end, you're always on your toes. You don't know, like, it's either he just settled for you and be like, you know what, this woman has been there for me, my ride and die. When men say those my ride and die, it's not a compliment to me. So I think she should just, I hope she says no. I haven't watched the last episodes, but I really hope she's like, you know what, your hesitancy, you're not being fully in. I don't think we're right. Maybe they should date more. Maybe he should do whatever he's doing with, or maybe he doesn't like her as much. Okay, well, clearly you can tell she likes him more. but maybe he's either not ready for marriage or he's not ready for marriage with her. It's a lot because the way he is not consistent with his feelings and his actions is a no-no. So Chloe, you're listening, which you're probably not, little old me, but please hope when you watch back, you see that you are a stunning girl who deserves someone who can give you more assurance and who's able to meet you where you are. Because it's always like, oh, she wants this, oh, she wants this. And it's like he doesn't realize what he signed up for, which is sometimes an excuse more than a reason. Then our next couple, so I'm going to be looking at my notes because it's a bulk of episodes. But I'm just going to do like a quick review because everyone is a mess. So Thomas and Kim. So Thomas and Kim, I mean, I didn't really have much hope because I felt like Kim had a stick upper, like she was very uppity. And Thomas is kind of rugged and he's a simple man. Then he has a child. Um, so I just felt like I don't want to say this, but I don't want to be rude, but like in terms of class, like Kim comes from like a strong, somewhere an upper, well, not even an upper class, but even the way she's brought up, her mom is like she's Asian, her mom is Asian. So I mean, usually when it comes to Asian households, you have to have good grades, carry yourself together. It's very similar to like us Africans. You're not going to just get married to anyone. Experience like marriage is very, very serious, especially when you introduce. There's even a point like Thomas, like when he met her mom and her sister, the man was he was shivering, he was sweating, it was so uncomfortable to watch. But the mom was very nice. She was very. The sister was also very sweet. In fact, when I saw mom, I'm like, okay, Kim, like you could think that your family is. I don't know if you've watched those who. I mean, if you're watching this and you probably already watched the show, probably watched other versions. The recent version of Love Is Blind UK. There is one of the contestants, a girl. She's also of Asian background. I believe she's Indian. Yeah, I forget what her name is. A very, very beautiful girl as well. Family is what you'd call quote unquote posh. And when the her fiance met the mom and the sister, funny enough, he was also like he forgot his English. He forgot what to say. I get it. They're very intimidating, but they ended up being very, very sweet, right? So I feel like that's the same when she met. But there was a situation during the honeymoon. Kim, like I said, she's very uppity, and sometimes I can come across. I'm not going to call her a mean girl, but she does have mean girl tendencies. So when she was calling out, sorry, bad with names. I believe his name is Charlie. Charlie, yeah, we're just calling her Charlie. For choosing Julie instead of choosing her friend Sarah, and she was like making fun of him being an elf and saying like, "How did you just switch up?" Which honestly, frankly, was none of their business. I'm actually lucky that I mean happy that Julie was like, "Why is everyone like the only person I have to have this conversation with is Sarah? So why are you like on my fiance?" But she was like, "Oh, why did you do that?" and everything. So Thomas was like, her fiance was like him, like, "Why are we talking about this? It's nothing big." I feel sorry for Julie because Julie ended up crying because of everything that was happening. And then she was like, "Well, why weren't you on my side? We're supposed to be a partnership." Which, yes, I believe when you are in a couple, even when you have a disagreement, you don't agree with what your partner is doing, pull them aside. Never try to um call them out in front of others, especially in a show like this. You have to, stand, you have to be united. But then you don't want someone just backing up because you're a partner, but you are still wrong. And Thomas had a point. He may not have um, expressed his opinion the best way, but I mean, Kim, you were being a mean girl. You and Sabrina were being a mean girl, ganging up on Charlie. Charlie is a better man than most. He handled their questions. He was very polite. He went consult Julie after. He answered everything properly, but Thomas was like, "We're not here to delve into other people's couples." So that kind of gave Kim the ick. She was like, "Oh my god, he's so emotional. Why wasn't he on my side?" Or maybe if he had pulled her aside and be like, "You know what, honey? I get that was your friend, but you know what? Just leave. The girl is crying. Let Sarah come and talk to him. It's what's done is done. Whether he made a mistake, you don't agree. That's their relationship." But instead, he was so frustrated. He did the Thomas where he's going the camera like, "I don't want to deal with this." I'm like, it's also not attractive the way he was handling himself. But yeah, like I said, they're different personalities. Thomas, I'm not going to say very emotional because you always want men to be more emotional. No, or express their emotions more. So if he's very intense, emotional, sensitive, whatever, I'm not going to fault him. It's just that he needs to be able to express why he's feeling the way he is, not just react, which is what Kim is saying. So yeah, I just feel like they're different people. I mean, I know Thomas likes her or he says loves her, but I don't think it's gonna work out because even the way he was eating, I feel like you'll have to watch everything he does and say. And again, that's how Kim is. I'm not gonna fault whether you agree or not. That's just how she is. Like she is that babe. Like even the way I love the way she talks. I won't lie. I wish I could be as composed as her. Like the way she talks, and even when they're arguing, she keeps the same. Like that's cool to me. I kind of wish I was because when I tell you can see I'm very especially when I'm even having a disagreement, I can start crying and very expressive. So I like the way she talks. She's always really composed. So I don't know if they will work out. Kim she surprised me, honestly. She's saying that she's going to still work on it. But then comes where all the other pod mates come in. So Clement was another person she was talking to, and I thought that she was going to choose him, although he talked about he's a very horny Frenchman to me. But on paper they fit. He's a businessman. He even traveled with the French president. Like he's that kind of man. Like the way he dresses, the way he holds himself, their values. It's intellectual stimulating, and people are like big on that. So even when they met, you could tell, like, it's the first time I saw Kim, like, oh my God, you're all this, you're all this. She gave more compliments she's given Thomas the whole time. So, I mean, at this point, Thomas had introduced her to his daughter, so maybe he's also still skeptical. But I was like, okay, is Kim rethinking? Because personally, I feel like Thomas is more attractive. But like Kim says, she's like, intellect is more important than looks. Plus, I don't think Thomas is her type anyway, so aside from him having tattoos, that's similar to David Beckham. But yeah, she was like, I like the way he's dressed, he's smart, this and this. She was like, like it's like she was rethinking, but she was like, you know what, I went with my heart, so Thomas is the right person for me. So I was like, okay, maybe on paper you guys match, but you appreciate Thomas because he has a big heart and she says nice things about him. I don't know if she said it to him, but at least she tells us. So another podmate, I don't remember her, but she comes talking to, I don't know what she's talking to, but she's talking about how Thomas is going to be there for the right reasons and she needs to talk to him and get his side of the story because apparently he was dating one of her best friends. So I was like, is she just here to star? Like, I didn't even see her the whole show. Is she a plant? Like, so she goes to Thomas, which is the right thing before she starts, going to Kim, and she hears his side of the story. So she's like, you know what? My friend told me, she first asked, how is your relationship? And he's like, it's good, it's good, it's good. So she's like, okay. Do you know Eleanor? I think her name is Eleanor. He's like, yeah, I know her. And then she's like, did you date? He's like, not really, we didn't date. We were close. I don't know what he said, but he kind of played it down. So she was like, okay, he's saying she didn't date. Well, they told me. And Thomas, I believe also in the pods, when he was talking to Tatiana, he was telling all the girls that he had been single for a long time. So now I believe her name is Anais, the messy girl bringing the tea. She's like, now she's coming out that he was dating someone else. So is he lying? What's going on? So we all know how, like, even online people be posting things about the castmates, like the cast, so they can get their 5 seconds of fame. So I'm like, I don't know if she's just being messy, but she goes to Kim. And the same thing Kim was complaining about Thomas not taking her side. I thought she would brush it off like, okay, I'll just talk to Thomas. But everything it was even more because Anais brought it to, like, you know what, I have a friend of a friend, my best friend telling me that, he was dating someone. I just wanted to let you know because I would want to know. And she's like, really? Yeah, I just went to talk to him to hear his side. He downplayed it, basically said that it was nothing. And she was like, oh, okay, really? So he's lying to me. I'm like, him? She's lying to me. Like, she kept adding, like, spice to the story. Oh, he's doing this to me. Oh, okay, wow, why would he do this? And I mean, even Anais was like, I don't know, I'm just telling you what I heard so that you don't hear it after in case there's some truth to it. I'll just talk to him. Wow, he's doing this. Like, okay, then she went in. And at this point, unless I wasn't paying attention, I thought they kind of cleared up everything from the honeymoon. They seemed to be good when she met his mom, he met her mom. I don't think he met anyone from his side of the family, maybe friends, but I don't remember. When he met her mom and the sister, they kind of gave the approval. So I mean, it seemed like they were good. She started saying all these things like, yeah, why is he lying to me? Blah blah. She got really really worked up. She actually had to go outside for like fresh air. So Anais goes to Thomas. Now this is where again Thomas not really expressing himself properly. He said, now, I mean, Anais was being messy, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do for her screen time. She's like, I didn't get love. I don't know if she knows, but she didn't get any screen time during the pod. So let me come and, do something. Or maybe she's really looking out for Kim. I don't know. So he's like, why would you do that? I realized she was already, we're in the rocks, we're not sleeping in the same bed. We're not even talking. She won't talk to me again for days for this small thing. And I'm like, dude, you just said you're not talking. You don't even share a room. You're supposed to be married in a few days. Why is this a big deal? Why are you coming for any need to bring something when your relationship is already in the rocks? So it's kind of like he was just blaming Anais. Why would you do that? You knew what you were doing. Are you happy with yourself? Then Kim came. So it was Kim, Thomas, let's say I want to build the scenario. Kim, Thomas, and Anais, and there's another lady. I think it's another lady. Oh, honey, I don't remember. I think it was just Anais and Kim. And then there was a gentleman. I don't remember him. But he had nice hair though. He looks like he was probably from North Africa. Kind of looked lit too. The things that he was saying, he would say something and then Kim would like shut him down. Even Thomas would shut him down. He's like, oh, and he's like, oh, okay. He kept trying to like help Thomas, but he wasn't really helping. But it was funny. It was funny. You just have to have watched it to understand what I mean. But yeah, she was like Thomas is, he's not settled. He's like, no, I'm not settled. I just said we keep arguing over small things and things and help. I was basically on the rocks. And I knew it was bad, and I'm like, this guy should break up. When Kim went in before she walked out, while talking to Inez, like she's like, his looks, like she's basically saying, like, I settled. I got over his looks. I got over that he didn't have education. I got over that he like socially and how he carries himself. I got over his clothes. I got over his breath. I got over his smile. I got over like him basically breathing. I got over everything. Like I was like, damn girl, why are you with him? Like she's basically saying I had to stoop. You're not even the kind of guy that I want, and you may be playing me. It was more so that it looked like it was more so the ego than she actually was. Like, oh my god, is there someone actually? When she was like, oh, I forgot. So when Anais told Kim that he was still talking to the girl, because when Anais went to Thomas and asked, he was like, I haven't messaged her, she also has a child, I have a child. It seems like Thomas may be one of those men that uses his child to like connect to other women. Just me. There's some men who kind of use, you would think that men don't talk about their children. Some don't talk about their children at all, not let the women know like, okay, I have a child. But some use their child, especially like he has a girl. It can be like, it's kind of like endearing to a lot of women. Like I know, frankly, I obviously didn't want to be with a man who had children. But then at some point, meeting a man who had a child, especially a daughter, and how we talk about it is very attractive to me. So he was like, she has a son, and I have and my daughter, they're around the same age. I could just connect because of that. But when he even said it, I was like, why are you still talking to her? Why are you even reaching out to her? Like, it's giving like there's more that's happening. So when Kim found out, she was like, I literally like don't like you. I don't like your looks. I don't like that you're uneducated. I don't like your job. I don't like the way you dress. I don't like your hair. I don't like your eyes. I don't like when you speak. I don't like anything about you. Then you're gonna play me. I'm obviously just not verbatim, but basically is what she said. So when she came back, she was like, you know what? Like we've been having issues. We talked about something about the notary. I think they were dealing with something. I imagine a notary is going to sign a contract, whether it's with business or with a marriage. I think it's to do because there's another. Okay, I'm kind of skipping past, but we're going to go to my black love couple where they do a prenup. So I don't know if that's what they're talking about. And I know when it comes to money, because Kim don't play about her money. Oh, don't play about her money. I was like, is that it? She's like, yeah, he was seriously serious. And he says, I'm too. And I'm just like, okay, Thomas, even if it doesn't, what I've learned in a relationship, even if anything, whether it's your lover, fiance, brother, sister, child, business partner, any friend, if something doesn't bother you and it bothers someone else, right? Even if you don't feel like it bothers you, you have to kind of see their side the way you'd want someone to see your side, especially Thomas, if you can be intense and sensitive to certain things, right? You not express it properly, but you'd want Kim to now understand because, again, like I said, they're so different. They're very, very different. And yeah, Kim is very, even the whole time, like Thomas was standing, sweating, doing the Thomas shake, and Kim was just, yeah, like she would just speak. If there was no audio, you think that she's just giving a business proposal. I love it though. I love it. I wish I could be like that. Anyway, long story short, with those two, they had that back and forth. I think Thomas walked away. He kept blaming Anais. She was like, excuse me, like, are you not you're still blaming me. Or your fiance here is telling you things like, yeah, but you added to it. You knew what you're doing. Good job. It's like, Thomas, kind of see the bigger picture. I don't know why you're fighting for this relationship. Clearly, you know that it's not going to work because you didn't even introduce that to your son. Later on, actually, he meets up with his father figure because I believe his father passed away, and he was like, okay, can you just call up Kim? He was actually going to respond. He's like, just do it. She actually came. She came on out of respect for I forget what his name is. Let's just say Papa Thomas for now. And he explained something that Thomas suffers with, like basically because he has gone through a lot. Like growing up, he wasn't able to eat properly. He had to work since he was 14 to be able to eat, to be able to buy things for school. So I guess now he doesn't focus on the small things, and he's a happy person. Because I've gone through so much. Let me just celebrate life. Let's not stress about the small things. But then you have Kim, who's a perfectionist and who probably had like a good life. You know, she never had to worry about eating on food, and she likes things in a certain way. So of course she's gonna be picky. Now, if Thomas is able to voice that out, not saying that Kim is right because she's still uppity, but she would understand him more. She even said it after, like, now I have a better understanding of Thomas. Now I know like why he is the way he is, why he's so intense about things. They still have a lot to work on. For those two, honestly, again, I just don't feel like they're compatible. And it's not like if you're not compatible thing, but you have to be willing to work. Both of them have to be willing to work on it. So, and after what Kim said about him, honestly, if I was even Thomas and I was still together and we were watching that back, watching that recap, I'll be like, because some of the things that she said, he can't change. He can't change his looks. He can't change his background. Like, there's one thing that, okay, I would love to be with a man who's educated, right? Who has at least a degree. But if you meet someone who doesn't, even if that's what you wanted, don't use it against him. But yeah, in not even a big argument, in that just that small moment when Anise brought something which could be nothing, the way she just said all of that, for me, that's over. Game over. So I'm hoping they say no. So far, we've done Chloe and Alexander, now Kim and Thomas. I'm not seeing any couple that should still be okay. So now let's go to Sabrina and Van Mi. So Sabrina and Van Mi were one of those couples I was rooting for because they seem so cute. I think Van Mi is so cute. And Sabrina, very beautiful girl, big personality, but she's very insecure. So I was like, okay, Van Mi is nice. He may be shy, but maybe she'll bring out his personality, make him more comfortable, because if they're both shy, it could be a problem. And then he's also sweet, so maybe he'll be able to reassure her. She won't, because if she was with like Julianne, the other option she had, she would probably go crazy because she already had, and I don't know why she's insecure. It looks like she like yearns for validation from, I don't know if it's from her partner or everyone who's around her. She was also giving mean girl tendencies because she was also involved in that whole honeymoon thing with Kim and like going after Charlie. And I was like, girl, focus on your relationship, because she was complaining to us how she compliments Van Mi, but he doesn't. And I was just thinking, okay, he's still shy. Again, he is Asian, so in their culture, I'm going to even bring culture in it, because I've met Asian who will, you know, they're really expressive, but he is naturally very shy. So, and very soft spoken. So, I was thinking, okay, maybe he doesn't express himself as much, but I know he finds her beautiful because he did that in the beginning, right? Then I didn't think much of it. I'm like, we'll continue working on it, or we'll just break up, just be friends. So I believe it was Chloe and Alexandre. They had a party at their apartment. So it was Kim and Thomas, I believe, and then Van Mi and Sabrina. Sabrina and Kim are close. Sabrina was out complaining how, oh, he never tells me I'm beautiful, da 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 da. And then he showed me his exes. And I guess Van Mi, like, again, back to his culture, you don't bring that out in public, because it didn't seem like they had this conversation. Like, it's like she was holding all this in, and maybe she just taken Kim aside and spoke to Kim about it. Because again, like I said, she seeks a lot of validation, because there was a scene prior to that where she was asking Kim, he's cute, right? He's good looking, right? And she was like, yeah, he is. And I'm like, why do you care? Like, oh my God, Sabrina, you have a lot of growing up to do. And you have a lot of like personal growth as well, because your insecurity and you not feeling yourself, even if you're with a man who tells you you're beautiful every day, you need to feel beautiful, because you are beautiful. I mean, I remember during the reveal, like her walk, I'm like, she's that girl. Like, that's the last thing. Maybe it should be a firecracker, but I didn't, because I think she's North Africa, so a bit of Arab in her. They do say they're firecrackers, it's an excuse, but I was thinking that maybe she should get frustrated with Ban Me, like say something. Like, I'm always one holding the conversation. It can be frustrating, but like, because he showed you the exes, and then he was like, well, you asked because, I think he told her, that she wasn't his type, and that her, her insecurities went woof, like they rose up really high. Then all of a sudden, again, it could be editing, but she said like yelling. She was like, "No, I didn't ask. You're the one who just showed me." And then he was like, no. And you could tell he was he was so uncomfortable. He was like, why are you even yelling at me in public? Why are you bringing this? And everyone was looking like, what the hell? Yeah, you showed me. You showed me. Just showed me. Look how sexy they are. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like him. But again, you never know. Because again, I have a soft spot for Bunny. I just feel like he's so adorable. Maybe deep down, he's a menace. But the way she was shouting, and I said, no, 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 no. I don't remember the exact words because I watched it like a few days ago. I took a break. I actually started watching, I think it was like that after that episode, and I just said, you know what? I took a break, went and started watching Love Island. That's another whole mess. I took a break from stress and mess to go to even worse. But she was shouting at him, and I was like, oh my god. And then he moves her to the kitchen. He's like, why you even like, what's this? And then she's like, you like Kim? Kim being her friend, right? On was Thomas. You like Kim? And I'm like, oh, is it because she's also Asian? I mean, Kim is beautiful, but Sabrina, you're beautiful too. Like, and I'm trying to think, are all his exes Asian? Is that why she's like, oh, now you like him? It was just so weird. He was like, what the hell? So they left all yelling, and then I was like, no. Um, yeah, it's another couple that's down the hill. I'm just like, no. And then later on, they didn't really get a lot of screen time. But later on, I think they spoke about it. And I think she apologized. I hope she apologized. So he ended up taking her to meet his sister and his friends. These are really lovely. Like, they're really great. Like, I just love when it's so many Asians on my screen. Like, I love it. I always feel like if I was not black, African, which I love, after going through all the blacks all over the world, then other race I'd be Asian. I don't know why. I just find their culture so like I always want to go to Japan, even the Chinese culture, even the Korean culture. It's like even just so many. And by Asian I mean like north, south, east. Let me drop it. Let me not embarrass myself further. So this is Indian. But you know what I mean. I don't want to say anything else. It'll get me in trouble. But yeah, I just love the food. That's a beautiful, rich culture. So the sister was like, oh, she's Van Mee's sister, because her friend's like, she's beautiful, she's nice, she's vibrant. Again, that's all Sabrina. I wish she knew that herself. But then one of her friends was like, what are the things that they will say about you, the best qualities? I don't remember what she said, but then the sister asked, what is the worst quality that they would say about you, meaning her friends and family and people who know her, and she said that she's possessive. I like her awareness. If you're possessive, you have to find out why you're possessive. Why are you possessive? Van Me hasn't given you any. Well, if he did actually say, "Oh, look at my hot girlfriend." Again, it doesn't sound like him. For someone who's shy and can barely give you compliments, I don't see him pulling up his phone and being like, "Oh my god, look at my hot, sexy ex-girlfriends." I'm pretty sure she asked, but when you did Lulu. So she was like she was possessive, and I still looked at her like the fact that she even would say that. So later on, when she was doing her interview, she was like, actually, I think they went for a conversation, Van Mee's sister and Sabrina, and she was asking about Sabrina said asking like how are his exes, and I'm like, oh my god, Sabrina, that's their exes for it doesn't even matter. She didn't even ask. Okay, she didn't ask how they looked, but she was like, how are they? No, first she asked have you met them. Probably going to be another poor Van Me, another argument, and then she was like, yeah, I did. How are they? They were more discreet. I think there's a word she used. They were more discreet. They didn't have big personalities like you. They shared most of the information. Like they weren't as expressive. They didn't give a lot about themselves. But you do have a big personality. I love the words that the sister chose. I really loved how she handled herself. You could still see she was saying a lot without saying much. So during her interview, Layla still was like, she has a big personality. I don't know how that's going to work with my brother because he's more shy and quiet. She said something that was very, very, I didn't even see it in that way, but overshadowing Van Me, because I thought positive, I'm a lover girl, that she would bring out his personality and she would bring out, she would make him more outgoing, not to change him, but make him comfortable, because in the beginning was like he was so nervous during the reveal, and when she was talking and everything, complimenting him, she made him more comfortable, right? Because I believe if she was also shy, then it would be very awkward. There'll be like very, very awkward couple. But the same thing that he loves and I like about her is probably also the same thing that the sister sees could be a problem. She's like, I hope she doesn't suffocate him or overshadow him, which make sense. And then she said she's possessive. The way they still look at the camera, like, nice and whole, like, that's a problem right there. So yeah, she's like, I don't know if this is gonna work out, but I'll come to the wedding. It's gonna be a beautiful wedding and see how things go. But yeah, I and funny enough, when they did the dinner with the other pod mates and she saw Julian, she was like, "Oh, Julian is exactly who I thought he would do, how he'd look. I would like him, I would like him physically." So I'm just like, they didn't show any conversation with them, so I don't think anything happened. Otherwise, they would have. But I was like, oh my god, I don't know. I don't think they should say yes together. I think they should get married. I just feel like Sabrina needs to work on herself a lot. Van me, we haven't gotten anything from him. I haven't heard anything from him. Even during my meetup with his friends and his sister, they spoke more than him. He just has that shy, awkward laugh. So I don't know if it's just the editing, but so far, aside from like some scenarios, I believe the editing has been good. Um, because sometimes when they're editing, they paint a story for you because they know what's going to happen in the end, right? So they kind of give you like little cues and stuff. But I like how they've edited it this season. It doesn't show you like, okay, it's going to be I mean, if they may be problematic, it shows more of the way that the growth. I'm trying to find the right word, but instead of just kind of setting you up for like a story, they're just showing the different stages and growth. Like in the beginning, you'll be like, this couple is going to make it. They're beautiful. Then it goes to the next step. Like, nope, they're not going to make it. They should break up. Then they work on it. Okay, you know what? They're going to make it. As opposed to just editing and just showing you this couple going downhill, boom, until it, crashes or going uphill. So I like it. They've shown like, I think they've done a good job. They could have done better in some cases, but so far they've done a good job. So I don't know about Bunny and Sabrina. Um, but no, that's another couple that should not say yes. So we'll see. So here goes my beautiful goddess and her short king, Jonathan and Cynthia. So like I said, it was very awkward. It was the most awkward reveal I've ever watched in all the versions of Love Is Blind. But I'm rooting for Cynthia. She's beautiful. She's confident, and Jonathan was really nice. They didn't show much, but he seemed really nice. He had the best proposal. So I was like, okay, this is a mature. This is a beautiful couple. This was giving me real black love too. And from the honeymoon. So Cynthia is taller than him, way taller than him, and they were going to the dinner to meet the other couples for the first time in the honeymoon. And Cynthia loves to wear her heels. She does. Even in the post when she was talking about should I wear flats just in case he's short, and they're like, no, be yourself. So he was like, yeah, you're beautiful. Wear whatever you want. When she was asking him, she ended up going with the heels. Then they have their mic still on. So when they went into the room where there are no cameras, he was saying like, can you switch to other shoes? She's like, why? He's like, please, like I don't want to. They're going to roast me. The boys, you already like basically you're already taller than me. Please help a brother out. Just wear the flats. Either way, she's still going to be taller than him. But she was like, but why? Like I don't see that big deal. I don't care. You shouldn't care. Who cares what they say? Which is true. Like you're already on Jonathan. Literally the reveal. The reveal itself, I'm pretty sure it's probably a meme now. I'm pretty sure that's probably like the marketing. When they say Love Is Blind France, that's what it's going to be remembered for. Because you don't see a lot of couples where the lady is way taller than him. Grant, it's not a problem, but I'm just saying, like, you're already being seen in the internet. Why are you caring about what your pod mates think? And frankly, right, if you carry yourself, because I have a very good friend whose wife is taller than him. And if you carry yourself when you're confident, again, as long as your wallet is as long as you always say, I may be sure my wallet is tall. Hey, stand on that. That's an extra 6 inches if you're doing good. But no one matters. So, and I mean, no one cares about it. So it's giving that he cares about it. So she was like, no, now Cynthia, I get it. I'm similar, we're probably from the same tribe. Um, we can be very stubborn. So, probably she should have just almost girl just to keep the peace, not a big deal. See, your man is feeling insecure, is meeting all the rest of the castmates, even if he probably doesn't care at all than him. He knows that boys are going to troll and stuff. Just be like, you know what? Okay, just wear the heels. We'll talk about it later. But her being me, I would be like, no, like why is it bothering me? Let's get to it right now because I may wear the flats, but next thing I want to wear the heels. Then what? Let's handle it now. So he was just like, no, like just think about me, not thinking about me. Then the scene cuts to them. They're still arguing. he's like, you're being very selfish, you're thinking about me, blah blah blah. And she's like, but honey, like, I mean, he's like, no, she's like, no, but honey, but like, what's wrong? Like, if it doesn't matter, it should be just us. Why is it a big deal? Then she was like getting angry. Then no more effective communication. It was really really bad. The whole I didn't even pick up everything. Again, I watched his episodes like days ago, almost a week ago. But all in my head, I was just thinking like, oh my god, these guys, they're arguing about the wrong thing, right? Their communication is whack. They're both looking toxic. I wasn't even picking sides, but I kind of feel like Jonathan was wrong because when she asked him, he said he was okay, but he's not okay. And then when he brings it up, she gets into defense like, "Why are you like, you know?" I mean, her tone could have been better, but it was just back and forth, back and forth. So the dinner comes, they're not there in the dinner. That's when the whole mess with them are questioning Charlie about his choice and everything. Then I believe they came in late. They show up later, and Cynthia was telling them about what he was saying. Of course, again, at that point, I was still on Cynthia's side. I'm like, why did he act like that? He should have just, I mean, the height is clearly a problem, which now is bugging Cynthia because she's like, he said it's not a problem, and now it's a problem. And obviously, the height is her being taller. Whether she's not confident about it, if someone tells you that, let's say, for example, my forehead, shiny forehead, guys. I used to be teased when they like growing up when like power would go that hey sola. So let's say I'm insecure about I can't even use my forehead because it's a weird thing, but let's just say something like that because some people height is nothing, right? I have a big forehead and my forehead is extremely big and I'm with a partner and maybe he's self-conscious about his child having a big forehead, but then he comes tells me there's nothing wrong. But then he tells me, why don't you do like a hairstyle that covers it? Just I don't want to be trolled. Even if it's not a me problem, it's a him problem. You're still questioning what she wants to like wear, which is high heels. If I want to wear my hair and have my solar out, let my forehead be out. I'm thinking that's a weird. I should have just done my hair. I should have just did my hair. I have locks, right? And let's say I'm with a man who probably doesn't like women who have locks, and maybe he likes women who have short hair, or they do weave, or they have braids, or they have long curly hair. What where I'm getting this? Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, why did you just change your hair like this? I'm going to be trolled. Even if he's meaning for himself, what you're telling her you're going to be trolled on is something that she has probably learned to embrace, something that she had even in the pods that she was wary of. So I can understand Cynthia being frustrated, like, okay, are you not happy with the way I am? Do you want me to change? I can't change my height, whether I wear the heels or not. So I was on Cynthia's side that I still don't like the way she came and just talked to them because I'm like, you're gonna talk to them and then what? You're gonna look at him. So then he also went and started talking about it, I guess. But I was already like, yeah, these two, no. And it gets worse. I don't know what happened, but they had a dinner. And then she asked him about his exes. Like, are you still friends with your exes? Like, do you still communicate? They said, like, started trying to give context. And she was like, I didn't ask. I don't want the feelers. I don't want an explanation. Are you or you're not? So again, I understand because I can come across as that straightforward. I've asked you a question. It's a yes, no, right? Don't beat around the bush, which is what it was looking like. But I also understand his point. Like he's trying to tell you, like, yes, but this and this and that. I actually want to know that. And I guess the same thing that another connection in the pods, Maddie, had said she kind of came across as because she was telling him, like, oh, I don't want you talking to any females. I'm not comfortable talking to any females because again, she has like abandonment issues. Her parents passing. I don't even think that's an abandonment because they didn't leave you. They passed away. But I guess it's the way she controls. She does have a bit of a guard up, and Jonathan said that, and I see his point. She does have that. It could also be her demeanor. Like already, I tell you, she's a goddess, so it can be a bit intimidating. But she did ask him a straight up question. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, when he was explaining himself, she was still like, "I need is it a yes or no?" Like she was, it felt like she was like interviewing, like almost like a parent talking to a kid. And the fact that she told him doesn't help. So really, it's like she was talking down a little bit to him, and yeah, it was a little bit like, so let me put him lower because yeah, she's taller. So I'm so wrong for this. They were seated down though, so it's not like this was it's not been hilarious. So I'd have probably been laughing. He was like, no, but like we kept in good contact. We just had a one night stand. I'm just paraphrasing one night stand, and then we realized about it as friends. I asked you if you're still friends with your ex. Yeah, but and he was, I mean, his tone, he was keeping it light. Yeah, but I've gone for a wedding. So are you friends with your ex or no? I don't want to hear anything else. I was like, Cynthia, oh my gosh. I mean, I hear what you're saying about Jesus. And I don't know if they finished that scene or they cut to the next, but yeah, I think they met up with the other couples, and Jonathan was just pouring out his heart. She doesn't listen. She hasn't even asked me about myself, which I'm like, I mean, we saw her ask you about your exes, so I think she does. Just that the things that she asks you, you probably don't want to answer. But like, yeah, she's always so serious. She's always, I feel like she's always like, questioning me. It's always getting to fight. It's not the lightheartedness that I felt in the pods, the happy and emotional. She's completely different. She's not the person who I proposed to, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I hope you told her all of this, because you're telling the boys, and the boys are just gonna be like, oh really? Uh-huh. I don't know who she was talking to. So probably talking to Charlie. Well, Thomas already has his own problems. Oh, Alexander's already like, I want to get the hell out of here. I wish I had your woman to have a reason to just leave this freaking experiment. But I was just like, oh my God. So, and then Cynthia, I don't know if she said anything about him, but later on they had another argument. Oh my God. I like mess. And when you watch the shows, sometimes it's good to relate because all couples argue, but this was so uncomfortable. It felt so real. So going back and forth. I don't think until this scene I've had Jonathan screaming. I'm like, wow, like he was really, really upset. I know Cynthia, she won't back down. Again, I love that for my girl because I'm someone like that, but you have to pick your battles. Like, it's not to prove that you're right. It's not always like you can both be wrong and both be right. If you see it from you, even if that's not how you meant it. And then, yeah, she was following him. Oh my God, it was just so uncomfortable. And he was like, you know what? In the interview, this is the worst woman I've been with, the worst woman I've known. He said all these terrible things about her, and I was like, just like how Kim said all the bad things about Thomas. Of course, it wasn't as bad as this. I was just like, okay, if you really feel that way, then why are you with her? Just please break up. And thankfully, they did. But I think Cynthia was still like, you don't listen. He's like, you're wrong. You're the worst. Like basically, like saying everything. And she was like, wow. So it's just me. Wow. I said I was not backing up. I was just like, girl, just leave it. Leave it. He said all the things about you. It's not worth it. Whether you're wrong, you're right. You guys are it's just toxic. It's very, very toxic. And it's so opposite what I saw in the pods or what we probably saw in the pods. I'm just like, you're both wrong. Just the way they were handling themselves, the way they were talking to themselves, even if they had like valid points. I mean, you're entitled to how you feel, but I'm like, wow. It's like, they forgot the cameras were there. I'm like, what happened? Because again, they didn't show us a full argument, so we didn't even see the build up. It just went, it's like they were arguing, and the camera crew was, hey! And they ran like to it. So I think for Jonathan, it seemed like it was a build up. From what we have seen, of course, like the way Cynthia was talking, I don't think we even saw them smile. Maybe initially when they joined the honeymoon, but I don't know. I don't even know if Cynthia, are you self-sabotaging? Do you not like this man? And maybe you're like, okay, I really don't know what was happening, but it was awkward as hell. And I'm just like, yep, that's another couple that should just, anyway, they broke up. So they broke up. And then I think Jonathan is like, he's done. Probably threw his ring. I don't even know if threw his ring in the pond. I don't even know. It was crazy. It was like a telenovela. It was crazy. And Cynthia was like, yeah, go. Like she was still, I don't want to say she was egging him on, but she was like still like, I just said, girl, just keep quiet, just let it go. It's okay. So yeah, I mean, you can somehow, feel sorry for Jonathan and say, wow, Cynthia, you come across as very cold. You're always like, even her tone, still like maybe she pushed him, but I still believe both are at fault. And yeah, they're just not compatible. They just didn't bring out the best in each other. So sometimes it doesn't make you a bad person. There's no one who's completely wrong. They're both wrong and they just both need to separate. Because in the honeymoon, this is when you're supposed to be, enjoying, kind of like trying, even if it's not there, like the next couple I'm going to talk about, trying to, be at your best. But yeah, I'm like, if this doesn't happen in the honeymoon and you're in beautiful Morocco, oh my God, so beautiful. I like the architecture. Like I like the sandstone architecture. It's so beautiful. So the blues and the white sand and the food is good there. It's beautiful. That's where I'd love to go. And there are not so many people. Like if you go to like some other beaches like in South America or Central America or in the Caribbean. Probably have like a lot of people here. It seemed like it was kind of like Greece, sorry, giving a little Greece, like very I'm gonna just use the word millennial. I don't know what that means, but it seems like it's the right word. Like it's giving all that, like you're gonna go and this is Sparta and you're gonna fight. They're gonna be games, giving like that Greek methodology. It just looked nice. So yeah, another couple down. Honestly, at this point, love is blind. Love is not blind. Clearly, is not blind because I mean there are a few couples, Lauren and Cameron, yeah, and they're having a baby. That, and I believe it's like the earlier couples. Not saying the people who come. At least here, it seems like the women mostly, because I heard that a lot of men are scouted, join and asked to join the show. But even if they want to be married, they may not be ready, and most of the cast, they need some sort of therapy because a lot of it's family related. There's trauma, and if you haven't healed from that completely, then you can't now think of installing someone in your life, especially if they don't understand what you're going through. It's really hard because in real life, couples argue all the time. We do. So when you have a camera, like just putting in a microscopic view, it's like really hard, to like I kind of like understand these couples, but the fact that they are just not compatible, don't seem to like each other, it's hard for me to root for any of them. So now we're moving on to the next couple, who, funny enough, is probably the only couple I'm rooting for. Okay, so the next couple we're gonna do is Julie and Charlie. So Julie and Charlie, from the beginning, Julie wasn't attracted to him. And there was a bad drama with her, Sarah, and Sarah basically being a sore loser and talking ish about Julie to Charlie, then Charlie choosing Sarah, then Julie fighting for her life with him, and then even him being questioned about his choice during the honeymoon. So initially, when she saw him, she wasn't attracted to him. He's your typical Frenchman, aside from like, okay, he's short, light hair, light eyes. I believe like what he would say about himself being an MMA fighter, having a big personality, didn't really match his looks. So I say it like outright, like, he's physically not my type, not someone I'd go for. She wasn't even sharing a bed with him, which was kind of infuriating him. But Charlie was a good sport. So from what you see, he has been a good sport. He was like, it's okay, you can work on it, which most men would be like, you know what, screw this. And Julie, I mean, at that point, I was just like, you know what, girl, if you're not feeling it, go. But she was like, yeah, he treats me nice. We had a strong connection, and clearly my type hasn't been working. Let's see how it is. Could it potentially grow? So honestly, from what I'm seeing, they're building a very strong friendship. Even times when they are being attacked, they are there for one another. They have like the strongest connection in terms of um, them liking each other. They like each other. They rarely had any fights. He does plan dates for her, do sweet things. They're very comfortable, even if it's giving friendship vibes. So not much I want to talk about them, honestly. But they're the only couple I'm somewhat rooting for. I don't know if they've kissed because the last time Charlie was talking to Chloe, who is Julie's closest podmate, and he was telling her how, yeah, he's somewhat frustrated. I think even Julie was speaking to, like, he's getting frustrated, like, because in the pods she was very, I'm not going to slut shame her like Sarah and the Mean Girls did, but she was very open, like in terms of sexual, like she's like, enjoy it. So the fact that she's very hesitant, of course Charlie is putting two and two, like, I mean, that means you don't like me. So I was just in my head, I'm like, girl, just let him go. Just be like, you know what, we could be great friends, but why is my hair looking like a peacock? God. And this is like my go-to, like the messy bun, because it's easy for me to do. I don't like hair in my face, and then my baby girl is always pulling at my locks. So, but Jesus, looks messy. But yeah, but honestly, they could prove me wrong. The relationship that started as friends, they last long, but only if you can get to that step. If you can't get to that step, but I think she had kind of insinuated that they kissed. At least he spent a night. At least one of the nights spent a night. So she met any of his family. I don't remember. I really remember. There's so much drama happening, but some of the other couples that are more low key, I remember. But honestly, they're the most healthy. Even if they don't work out, they seem like they will still be amicable. But what I would say to Julie is, if you're not feeling it with him, if you don't see yourself feeling it with him, or don't see it progressing, just cut it. Save the poor man, because he's really holding on to hope. And I kind of understand, because in her position, like, he's a good man, we really clicked. Is this something that seems so small as him being attractive to me going to break us up? And because like people have been questioning his decision, for some reason the other girls don't really seem close to her aside from Chloe, sorry. Probably because they had more allegiance to Sarah. Even during the dinner where they all met up, Sarah came in. I mean, she was actually not as bitchy as she's very, very bitchy. She went to Charlie. Charlie was like, he's very good looking. If Julie wasn't here, maybe I would have, gone with Sarah. When Julie went to Sarah, she said her piece though. She was like, I don't like what you said, blah blah blah. And Sarah was like, well, we all thought you were bimbo. We all. She kept saying we all, and I was just like, wow, the girls really didn't gel with Julie like that. I mean, I like Julie. I think she's fun. She's sweet. She may be a bit peculiar, which is nothing bad. Like, you rather be different than just try and fit in. But I think she's nice. I don't understand why. Then she basically told her they were thinking that she's a bimbo. So I'm just like, what? A bimbo? Basically saying that she's loose. So I'm like, that's weird. Just because I'm talking about sex doesn't mean that I'm loose. You even find it funny that a lot of people who are virgins talk about sex a lot. When I was a virgin, a lot of times I talk about sex because I was as a virgin well into my adult years, and I used to be so free about sex, and a lot of people could not even believe they couldn't believe that I was a virgin. Like already they're thinking I'm freaking out on like never having sex. So Sarah. But anyway, she said, I'm happy you guys deserve each other. I don't know if that was shade, but Julie went straight to Charlie's arms and he was so supportive. So these two, so far, nothing bad. Beautiful couple, but probably a friendship couple. But I would love for them to prove me wrong, because they're our only hope. Yeah. So last but not least, our Black Love couple. Beautiful couple. So beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful couples I've seen in Love is Blind, the whole franchise. They're definitely top 5. So in the beginning, when they met each other, Tatiana beautiful, Yannick beautiful. I love Yannick's style, by the way. Shout out. And I also love, actually, they're probably the best dressed. They look good. Like Tatiana always looks good. I don't know if it's just that she could wear like a rucksack and look good, because she has a beautiful body and a beautiful smile. It's nice. And then Yannick, I usually don't like men who are fashiony, like, you know what I mean? Like men who like wear different things. Not like what's Will Smith's son? Jaden Smith. Yeah, Jaden Smith. Not as extreme as that, but the ones who tend to be like that. I don't really like that. But Yannick, maybe because he has a bit of Afrocentric swag on it. His jewelry, he looks good. It's working for him. Not everyone can pull it off, but he can pull it off. They were like, their chemistry was top. Um, they jumped into bed straight. They always be laughing, like very comfortable with each other. Joking around. They were clearly smitten, both of them. Usually, when it comes to this Love is Blind couples, there's always like, you can be attracted to someone, but there's always one who's overly smitten, but they're equally. So I was really happy. My worry, like from the reveal, was I hope he's ready to manage her lifestyle, like her having a son. Seems very business driven. Like I think she owns her own hair salon, which we see. So I was like, I hope he can handle it, because she's 39. She's the oldest. She doesn't look like it, and I believe he's 35, 36, 34, around there. So not much younger than her, but in terms of their life, like looks wise, no, but in terms of their lifestyle, definitely. Because there are so many conversations that they're having about, her, and then, with her child and her schedule. And he was like, "There's going to be any time for me." And you can understand, because she's a mom, right? Even there's a time they're talking about his apartment. She's like, "Oh well, you have to move into ours. We'll have to move." And he was like, "Wait, hold up." And I understand, because remember, he also has his own life. And as much as he did propose to her, knowing that she has a son and everything, again, that's one of my concerns. She demands. I don't know what even say, asks a lot from him. So he's the one to compromise more. He's the one to do this. He's the one to do this. Yet it's supposed to be both ways. I used to hate that word, but that word can be used positively, because even when you don't have children and you're in a couple, there are going to be certain things that you have to meet each other halfway, or in some cases, meet someone more. It depends on what you're willing to, because sometimes for other people, sorry, it's not a big deal for one side and it's a bigger deal for the other side, or it could even be improving your current lifestyle in certain aspects. So, for example, if you're with a man and you love to dress up and they don't really care to dress up, of course, don't force him if he doesn't want to, but you can be like, babe, I bought you this, okay, babe, let's go shopping, get him that, up his style. It happens a lot. That's just a simple thing. But of course, in this situation, it's much bigger because it's a child involved. She has businesses, she has different things that she's doing. Again, she's ahead, and then him, single man, whether it's 35 or 30 or 25. I always believe like single men sometimes do act a certain way unless they're like divorced or they have like other responsibilities. But yeah, you just imagine a bachelor. So of course, I expect him to like change his whole life. It's kind of unreasonable because he was like, let's at least talk about it. Let's enjoy the honeymoon. I get how it's like, see how it goes, but she's like, I want to know. I want to know now. Like, this is my, again, when she went into the pot, she wanted a husband. Now when she has someone that, okay, he's beautiful, he's handsome, we have fun. Okay, this is what I need. Like, there's basically no reasoning with her in a way. That's what I got initially. So I was like, okay, let's see if Yannick is going to be able to handle the standards that she has. And because I don't see her changing that. I just don't see her like 39. I mean, I remember when I was heading towards my 30s, that's what they say sometimes it's harder for you to like date when you're older because you have certain expectations. When you're young, though I just meet a man, and even if brings nothing to the table, the fact he's tall, the fact that he's fun, the fact he smells good, the fact that he says all these sweet things, sweet nothings a lot of times to you, you can fall easily, right? But now you have more to risk. Like she said, when introduced her son who is sensitive, as her, and she kept saying sensitive as her, and I kept saying how sensitive is Tatiana, because I don't see that, but then it's a different kind of sensitive that we get to learn. So yeah, so she went and showed him her salute, and I was really proud of her. I was, and I could see Yannick was proud of her. The Yannick is not the kind of guy, which sometimes does happen with, unfortunately, African men. They feel intimidated, but I could feel like he says he likes that about her, and also him having a single mom, which the connection, having a single mom and seeing how she struggled as a single mom when she's very young, so he could relate to that. Like he knows her struggle, he knows what she worked for, she really worked hard to get, so he appreciates and he's proud, and to him that's going to help someone else. Like he would have, I don't know if his mom remarried, but like him helping his mom indirectly. So that was beautiful. I just saw Unique. I'm like, you know what? He's not as immature as I thought he was, because during the pods, he someone came across as unserious and immature to me. But then, yeah, when he was saying all of this, I'm like, okay, if Tatiana can kind of loosen up, and also, again, communication was their biggest problem, and he even called it out. So I was like, if they could work on their communication, I think things would be better. But Tatiana wants things a certain way, and she's not flexible. So there is an argument they had about a prenup, and prenups are very, very free. So I don't know exactly what stopped Yannick from signing, but later on he explains how she came 2 hours for the meeting, and maybe the legal person just rushed through everything, and maybe he feels like he had more questions because he did say he wants to talk to his brothers. So he was actually telling his brother, like, he was already irritated that she came late. So I don't know if she came late because she had like another appointment, maybe, being a mother, running a business. And I think she said she's either opening another location, so she could be in the works for that, or she's opening another location. So sometimes things can happen, but he was just like, you know what, let's push this. He didn't say no, but I guess Tatiana was like, what's stopping you? What do I find? Like, she basically told him that when it comes to finance, of course, she has those traditions, and I disagree if I use that, because yes, in the African tradition, the man would provide and pay for everything, and if you as an individual want that, and you meet someone who is like that, perfect. But this day and age, to expect it, and not only is he providing for just us, he's providing for you and your son, and then you're already coming with a lifestyle, and then I have to keep this lifestyle if I lose my business. It's the way she said it, and even Yannick was like, because Yannick doesn't come across someone who just like, no. He's coming across someone like, let's talk about it. He doesn't want to say yes and promise you things that he's not ready for. He's more so, let's discuss further and further. Unfortunately for Yannick, and Tatiana keep saying, we don't have time. If I'm to marry you, it's a yes or no, black or white. That's how it is. Like, we don't have time. I have a son. I have a whole son. So it's kind of unfair to Yannick because he doesn't have a child, didn't have as much responsibilities. He's probably not doing as well as Tatiana. We didn't really get into his job, but he plays football with his friends. He's doing his thing. Again, he's coming out of that bachelor life. So there should be at least more understanding. So, and Tatiana didn't have time for that. When a husband, he has to fit. He has to fit the standard that what I really like, what I've said for him, he has to fit it, which is not fair to Yannick. So when he didn't sign that time, again, he said, let's talk about it. Let me talk about it with my brothers. Well, again, okay, understandable. Even if it's irritating for you, Tatiana, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. He's not going to do it now. He's not a dog. He's not your son, okay? So then another time, I think she had planned a date, but he was supposed to play with his boys. And he called her. Again, I don't know if he called her before, but he did say later on he did. But she called him and he wasn't picking up. And then she called him and he had said, you know what? I'm far. I'm going to be late. Let's just like reschedule. And then she was like, but I'm already here. Already here. Everything's set up. I don't know if she already paid for it. He's like, well, I can't make it. It's already late. I don't want to come and rush through things. So she was like, okay, let's just do it. Again, Yannick, if you did plan that out and you knew that there was a date, you should have arranged your time, especially because Hannah says like she has so many things that she's doing. You should have scheduled your time properly. So that one I understand Tatiana's point of view. Like it is what it is. But yeah, I get Tatiana. She's already there. And if you were just calling her then, because she had been calling you and calling you, from what the show showed us, we don't know how it could be editing, but yeah, that was wrong. But I didn't know that Tatiana was going to use this as, but not even fuel, not even like proper ammo. So I think the next scene that they show us, of course, I think that scene was Tatiana goes and she does. It was a very beautiful date. It was something I would enjoy. I wish I could find a place like that. Probably it's very expensive, but you make your own perfume, so you get different scents. But shit is embarrassing. Like she's there by herself. But anyways, they skip to another scene where Queen Mother is being introduced. Queen Mother being Tatiana's mom. So they go. The way she was looking at him, I was just like, oh my god. Typical African mother looking at him like, oh my god. Like she already didn't like him. She already didn't like him. Tatiana, that was not nice. That was a setup for Yannick. And even if Yannick has done wrong and made his mistakes, that's not how you do it. It's like she ran to her mother, who, I mean, Tatiana is exactly like her mother, and her mother is a no. The mom's attitude, he came, I could tell like Yannick could sense it, like the way the mom spoke to him. I don't even know how to explain it. I was just like, wow. Even Yannick said, even my own mother, you know how African men feel about their mothers. Even my own mother, I cannot sit here and you talk to me like that. The mom was obnoxious. She was rude. Her attitude, like, woman was terrible. This is the worst mother I've ever seen. And I've watched like over 10 seasons of Love is Blind. This mom is terrible. I hope in the reunion she apologizes. Oh my god. And I'm just looking like, Tatiana, what did you feel? And you know that, so it's Tatiana's friend, very beautiful, barely spoke. I think she knew the wrath of the Queen Mother. So it was like a small living room. There's a TV, a couch. The mom even didn't get up to say hi. I don't know if she even said hi to any. There's a single couch. Or should I just say just a chair, an accent chair the mom was sitting in. There's a double couch, like a two-seater couch. Sorry, double, like the bed. A two-seater couch. And Tatiana was kneeling in front of the coffee table. So Tatiana's friend was on the left side of the couch. Well, right if you're facing the couch, right side of the couch. Then Yannick sat. It was really small. I just increased on the tension. And then Tatiana's mom, oh my god, Tatiana's mom was sitting on the single chair, the accent chair. Tatiana, everything she was saying, I thought Tatiana would be like, mom. But she was like, eat him up. Like, she was like, why wouldn't you sign the prenup? Huh? Tatiana has worked so hard. I don't even think you're worth it. Like, she might as well just abuse this man and be like, you're scum. You're not good enough for my daughter. And yeah, bye. It's like, even if she says she's going to marry, if I say no, it's not going to happen. How can you're wrong? The man wasn't allowed to talk. The man was the mom was like the disdain. And that's why I was like, Tatiana, what did you tell your mom? Because the disdain she had for this, she was, as soon as she was ready, she was looking at her. And those who, I mean, if you're African, you know. I didn't even know how Yannick didn't get up. Maybe it's the African in him. Because I'm like, okay, if she had brought Thomas, because her and Thomas had a connection. Tomasu, from what I know, he's Caucasian, mountains of Caucasus, Caucasian, and the way he panics, he'd have got up. Feel like, what the hell? I don't even know if I should have talked to him like that, because Yannick was like, what's going on? And the friend kept looking at the camera. She was really breaking the wall. She kept looking at the camera. I think she was like, oh my gosh. You see, the friend felt sorry for Yannick. Tatiana was like, yeah, yeah, he didn't know her. Like, Tatiana, if you want to keep a relationship, I'm sorry, I can't shame because I'm a mother myself, but if I look back and I see myself acting like that, then no. But Tatiana, if you want to keep a relationship, because I can't even blame the mom. Even Yannick in the end was like, you know what, the mom is just protective over her daughter. It's like her daughter just gave all the ammo attack. That's what I'm feeling. He's like this, he's like that, he's like that. He stood me up. He won't sign up because I think those were the only two disagreements they had. Everything else was good, like not good, but like the way we talk about it, the prenup because he didn't sign that evening, and the fact that he didn't make it for the perfume date, like creating a perfume date. Why would you stand on that? And I'm like, Tatiana, no, you can't. And I don't want to say this, but I bet that Tatiana's dad and the mom are not together. That's so wrong. The way she had to do was so wrong. But again, like I said, I blame Tatiana. Whatever she told him, told the mom about him, it's probably what just, I was just like, wow, you will not marry. You're not going to be good enough for my daughter. And Tatiana was looking at him like this. So anyway, Tatiana feels like she's above Yannick. Which why? I mean, you're beautiful, but I'm sorry to say this. I'm a whole mother, so I can say this. In terms of the dating world, Tatiana, you're 39, like you said, you have a child, you've been divorced. Okay, I'm gonna say you are divorced. I'm gonna just say like the guy you broke up with you. Plus, I'm pretty sure Queen Mother had something to do with it. That was the final nail in the coffin for that marriage. Like, no. She has very good qualities. I was rooting for Tatiana. I really love Tatiana. But once I saw her mom, I saw Tatiana. Tatiana and her mom are probably exactly alike. Any Tatiana may have other like different reasoning. She probably goes to her mom for everything, and that's going to just kill. Like, moms are moms, of course. You only have one mom, but don't let a mom get in between your happiness. But again, it's not like the mom just came out of nowhere. Tatiana gave her the loaded gun, showed her the target, set the target up, and all the mom had to do was just pull the trigger. Which is why I'm like, Yannick, I don't know why you even continue, because this is just a beginning. If you marry this woman, that woman is going to, like she said, even if Tatiana wants to marry you, because I said no, it won't happen. Once she said that, Yannick, use this, your blinged up ears, and do not marry this woman, please. So I believe they broke up. I think I saw, I haven't even watched episode 8, but I believe I saw from Jesus Christ, Queen Mother. I was so shocked. I was so shocked and embarrassed for Yannick and Tatiana. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And if anyone is like agreeing with Tatiana's mom and all that, that's not nice. If you ever have any disagreement with your partner and spouse, don't ever be, especially if you know your parent. If you know your mom is like that, don't ever bring that into. We have love and respect for our parents that don't, because that ruins relationships. It does, really does. And when I was looking at Tatiana looking at the poor man get beat up like verbally, and she was just with the approval. I'm like, you would never want anyone to talk to your son like that. You will not want your son to be where Yannick is in. And over a date, like, again, I agree, Yannick is not in the right for that, but that's not the way you handle things. No, 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 no. The way she handled it even is worse than what Yannick did. Why would you sign a prenup? And he's like, no, I just said that mom didn't let him talk. And later on, they have a conversation. I think it's the next episode. From what I'm seeing, Tatiana is not letting him talk because I think she walks away. So, I mean, I guess the beauty of Love is Blind, although most of these people should be going for therapy, if they're not already going for therapy, is you kind of see yourself. Like, I used to always imagine me going for Big Brother. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do a Big Brother breakdown for Big Brother Africa. Love that show. That's what got me into reality TV. I would want to see how I'd react, because certain times it's very easy to judge people on screen. Like, why would you do that? And now these days it's cancel culture and trolls and crazy fandoms happening. But you're like, these people are, in the end, they're humans, and this happens. It does happen. I mean, I saw Tatiana and the mom, and they really thought they were doing something. And Tatiana also, I think she feels like, okay, you know what? He played me. he's wasting my time. He's not showing up for me. He's not the one for me. Because in the I think in the preview I saw her saying like he's not the one for me. I still believe in love. It's just not with him. You would think that he's the problem, and that's not true. Not saying that it's completely on Tatiana, but then you have to be able to listen to people. You have to be able to meet people halfway. It's not just about you. The world isn't only rotated around you. Like the thing Jonathan was saying about Cynthia, where she then asked me questions about myself. I think it's the same. I think Tatiana, in a way, is quite selfish. I think she only thinks about him. Because I didn't see any case where she asked, "What do you want to do?" Even when she was asking about him, it was asking in regards to how she fits in, how her and her son fits in. So, to be honest, I'm really happy that the ones who have children, that their partners haven't met their children yet. Let this just be for TV, okay? Let's not get the babies involved. But I'm so disappointed. Like, I think even more disappointed in Tatiana than how even Cynthia and um, Jonathan ended. And speaking of Cynthia and Jonathan, I forgot to even mention. During the dinner where all the pod mates meet up, Cynthia dresses, looking like a goddess. As usual, I always give her that. I think her and Tatiana probably are like the best dressed to me. I love her leather jacket. It's giving Matrix. So nice. I should get myself a leather jacket. I mean, Jonathan, she has to wear heels with that. I mean, she's tall. Today I need to, but you just have to wear either like some nice combat boots or like some nice sexy heels. She wore that dress. Or that dress. And at first I thought she was wearing that dress so she can read Jonathan down. But she read so that she can get him back. And I'm like, damn, Cynthia, is Jonathan right? Because if a man said the things that Jonathan said to me, and okay, she didn't hear, but to the camera, I would want that man back. Even if I wanted him, just my ego, my pride, that man didn't like me. I would want him back. So I don't know. It's getting kind of desperate. I don't know. Or she's guilty. Because nothing about her gives me desperate. Honestly, she's a goddess. But I'm thinking like, are you desperate or guilty? So I'm going to head towards guilty because you know that you treated that man bad. Maybe some of the things that, because I like to believe from the representation that they're showing us in France, that behind the camera, because I know there's a big like people with an African background in France. Some of the producers, cameramen, all that are black and they're trying to protect Cynthia. So I'm like, did they edit so that what Cynthia said and how she was acting isn't shown? Because why is she coming and she wants the man back? So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Jonathan is still very, very skeptical as he should, because if he's really standing by the words that he said, and this is the worst woman he has ever met, then why are you going to go to that woman? There's no way. So she was holding his hand, she was sweet talking him, she had a hand on his thigh. That was on the dinner, saying like, I'm sorry. And it confused men, especially if he was like, oh, I'm saying the things that I wanted to see when we're in the honeymoon, like had nice stuff. Like she was more sweet and soft, but they didn't really talk about anything. So like they didn't talk about like what the disagreement. She just kept saying, oh, you misunderstood me. Da, 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 da. So not toxic couple trying to get back. But yeah, I'm disappointed with Tatiana. I am. Maybe because I was really rooting for her, and maybe because I was blinded. I mean, love is not blind, but she blinded me. But love for her blinded me, Tatiana. You're a buddy and you know it, but girl. So anyway, long story short, conclusion, I'm going to watch the final episodes, but none of these couples should be together. What I'm thinking. And also, a lot of them need to go for therapy. Like Chloe, she needs to see the value in herself. Sabrina, she needs to learn how to love herself. Vanni, again, I don't know. Maybe he enjoys Sabrina possessiveness. I don't know. Doesn't seem like he does, but he needs to stand up and talk. Alexandre should just spare Chloe and just leave. It's giving like you either don't want to be there or you don't like Chloe and don't want to get married to her. Maybe you like her but you don't want to get married to her. So maybe they can continue dating, but frankly for me, the way he's been acting, I'll just cut him. What am I missing? Oh, Kim and Thomas. I don't think they should date. I mean, they're not compatible in my eyes. They may like each other, but Kim then, what am I saying? Yeah, Kim then like Thomas. From what she said, I can't believe she had all of that. Like she read him down. I was just like, oh my god. my jaw was down like, oh wow. So yeah. I don't know which couples actually like each other. Yannick, I really hope that people don't see Yannick as the villain. I usually watch a few reviews because now I'm reviewing it myself. I don't want to be biased, but I feel like yes, Yannick, as much as sometimes he appeared immature. I believe he's a fun-loving individual, and I'm ready for him. I am. Again, I should, but I'm going to compare him to the recent season of Love Is Blind UK. There was a contestant named Demola, and I feel like Yannick is as endearing as him. Like, I feel like Yannick is really fun. He dresses really good. I'm gonna say that best dressed man I've seen on the show. And yeah, I really hope that he doesn't feel bad. Like, I hope that, because Tatiana is a very beautiful woman, a very powerful woman. So the fact that she rejected him, I don't know. I'm just guessing she's going to reject him, right? Because already the mama said what she has said, and she's one of those people who seems like she follows her mom. She's basically her mom, mini queen mother. But I really hope that he doesn't see it like, oh wow, am I this bad person and everything. I really hope so. I don't feel so, because Yanni gives me confidence, like he's confident in himself. Like, there was a scene when he was talking to his brother and he was explaining everything, like, oh, he heard that Tahina went for the dresses. Oh, speaking of the dresses, I like to always go through the dresses. To me, the dress that stood out for me was Chloe. It was like a princess dress. I like it. All the dresses looked nice. Wait, did Sabrina wear a dress? I remember Sabrina's dress, and I remember because Sabrina is, she's a baddie. She's that girl. Maybe I know it. Um, Kim's dress was nice, but there was nothing that stands out. It's like a regular wedding dress. But yeah, Chloe's dress is what, out of all the dresses, Chloe's dress is the one that stood out to me. Also, I remember Julie's dress. Again, nothing really special, but the detailing was beautiful. Chloe's dress was beautiful. The fabric was nice. The sleeve and everything. Yeah, so that's what Takina said. I'm not trying on a dress. So I kind of knew that she was going to break up with him. So yeah, so he was telling his brother that he heard from the producers he didn't try on a dress yet. He tried on his suit, so he was actually responding to my messages. I tried to call her, so I don't know. So brother was like, okay, break it down for me. He explained. He's like, brother, like, you still want to marry her? Brother, like, I mean, dude, like, you still want to be with this woman? And I remember what Yannick said, but when they went for the walk, I mean the talk, because I think when they previewed, they seemed like they're in the apartment, and they're talking one last time before she walked out. I think he was probably in there so that we can talk it out, because a lot of these couples, I don't know if they last, probably not. Maybe they're still dating, we don't know. But a lot of these couples who are not ready for marriage, sometimes they want to continue dating. Yeah, I think most of them do break up, because when you get to the reunion, which I love. Love Is Blind. I'll give them a reunion. We don't have the best host aside from the France. France is I like the France host. I love the Sweden's host. The UK host, I'm indifferent, but I love Emma. I used to watch Big Brother UK. Love her. I think they are good. Let me ask questions. The Germany host was also good. Like, actually the European hosts are good. The Brazilian hosts, they're cute, but they annoy me. They fanboy and fangirl a lot. That's annoying. A host should be able to go and ask questions, ask amazing questions, hold the contestants, hold their hand to the fire. I don't know if that's how the saying goes. So the good thing with Love Is Blind reunion is after a year. So it's after they watch with us, because they film, I think, a year prior to when they show the season. So they have already watched with us. They have seen our reaction. It's basically a year. So even the ones who date, they don't last up to a year. Barely. I don't remember any couple that still, unless they, yeah, I really don't remember any couple that is still together when they just say, oh, we dated. Most of them break up. Because I feel like if you truly, really want to be with this person, even if you're somewhat taking a risk by marrying them, because I don't think they really get married, honestly. I don't know. I could be wrong. I also watched Married at First Sight, so I'm kind of like, I think Married at First Sight UK, they don't. US, they do. So I don't know if Love Is Blind they really get married. I think they do, actually. Um, but I think they take a while before they sign, so they can do like the wedding, but to sign, I think they take a while. I hope so. But if you really like, okay, I want to work out, even if you're not in a perfect position, I really want to be with this person, get lost in the experiment. I mean, free wedding, you know. Then after they can do their own wedding. But if you're really hesitant, usually you don't last. So yeah, there are the couples who say yes. There are those that break up, but there are those that, okay, I want to make this work, and they get married. Because if you really love this person, even if you're not right for each other, you try and you see how it goes. So yeah, usually couples who don't even make it to the aisle and say yes and they start dating after, I don't think they last. I think there's only been one couple from the US, but Anyway, long story short, sorry, I keep trying to wrap up. No one should get married. Aside from the friendship couple, Julie, sorry, and Charlie, only if Julie sees that there could be more than friendship. Because if Charlie wasn't, again, he seems like a sweetheart, understanding the way he carries himself, so cute. But if he showed like one mannerism that she didn't like, let's say he is loud, not loud, sorry, loud is okay, but he is aggressive or he is rude or he's a flirt, something that she didn't like, then now it's quick for her to like dump him. So you're only just with him because he treats you right. Yeah, that's a good enough reason in this day and age, isn't it? But yeah, give it a go if only you see that there's something that could happen. Like it could be developing. I mean, I hope so. One couple at least should survive. Because I recently watched Love Is Blind UK, I keep referencing it, and I think only one couple survived too. So it could be them. And it's a couple that I didn't think would survive, to be honest. I really didn't see it for them, but they survived, you know? Anyway, bye.